Hello and welcome to another episode of Crizzy Books. I'm Crizzy, or Criz, but only my homeboys call me Criz. And today I wanted to make another list because we all love a good list, don't we? I know I do, and you probably do. That's why you clicked on this. Today I am going to go over my top 5, as of right now, classic literature books. Classic lit is something that in my life I haven't read a lot of, or I guess maybe I have. I don't know. That's a whole world that I'm very interested in reading more of. When I was growing up, I must have been in the dumb, stupid classes because we didn't read a lot of like classic lit. I don't think I read The Great Gatsby till I was in college. I just didn't get a lot of exposure to it. And so as I got older, I think a lot of books that people read in school growing up, I had never read. And I wanted to read them to see what all the fuss was about. And that's how I am to this day. I'm still very interested in books that are considered classics, the timeless great novels of our lives. I always enjoy getting into them, even though sometimes it tends to bite me in the ass, as I'm sure it does everybody else, because they end up being really boring. I understand why they are considered classics, but they're just not for me. But this is a list out of everything that I've read thus far in my life that I would consider top 5 in terms of classic literature books. So let's get into it. These are in no particular order, although I'll probably point out which ones are my favorites. I just like these ones the best out of what I've read so far. First on the list, As I Lay Dying by William Faulkner. This is the story about a family's trek to bury one of their family members. It's told in a stream of consciousness by 15 different people, set in the early 1900s. I liked this surprisingly because it's not easy to read. God, I sound like such a pretentious ass just even talking about this, but I really did. This was so different from anything that I had ever read before, that stream of consciousness writing, and it made me, I think, pay attention more to what was being said. It was very difficult, but I liked that aspect of it. I liked that this book was making me really think about what was being said. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. The Sound and the Fury is also very similar to this. Those are the only 2 Faulkner books I've read. They both, I think I kind of get them confused sometimes, but I think that I like As I Lay Dying more. I haven't read a book quite like it before or since. Up next, we have The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. I read this last year. It started off, not a bad, I would say, but just not really something that I felt like was interesting me. And I almost gave up on it. I was like, if this just keeps going like this, I'm going to just stop reading. And I'm glad that I didn't, because then the story shifts and it becomes really great. Don't get me wrong, it's sad and depressing, but it's a really great book and it stuck with me. I really like this one a lot. Themes of mental health, gender roles, I think it's still relevant today, really. It honestly surprised me with the way they went. Also, semi-autobiographical with Sylvia Plath and her mental health and things like that. It's really good. Up next, we have Lord of the Flies. I know probably most of the people my age, you read this in school. I did not. I picked this up afterwards. I really like this. The story of a group of boys stranded on a remote island, self-governing each other, and that quickly dissolving, falling apart, becoming more savage. I think this is just a really good, scary, great interpretation of what human beings will do to each other and how quickly everyone will turn on each other in survival situations, things like that. Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. This is, in my opinion, a perfect book. There's nothing wrong with it. It's short, it's tight, great characters, set in the Great Depression. Lenny pets the rabbits. It's perfect. There's nothing else I can say about this. This is a 6-star book. It's fantastic. I have not read any other John Steinbeck, and I've heard that all of his other writing is just as good as this. I just haven't gotten into it yet. And finally, on this list, this is my number 1. If Of Mice and Men is a perfect book, this is also a perfect book, and this is my favorite of classic lit. This is one of my favorite books of all time. We have Animal Farm by George Orwell, the story of animals rebelling against their farmer, trying to set up their own society run by animals, which just puts them into a worse situation than they were with the farmer. This should be required reading for every human being on the planet. It is an allegory about, government bodies and fascism and how power corrupts, and more power further corrupts more. It's fantastic. I love it. Go read it right now. It's quick and it's awesome. And there you have it, my top 5 classic lit books. Again, this list will change. I have a lot of classic literature books on my to-be-read list that I'm looking forward to reading very soon. So I'll probably be able to update this list in the future. So that's going to be awesome. This is, an infinite content loop. If I read more, I can just update this list whenever I want, right? So it's perfect. But what do you think? Have you read any of these? Do you love them? Do you hate them? Are any suggestions for me in terms of classic lit that I should maybe check out? What's your favorite? Sound off in the comments below. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, and as always, thanks for watching. Bye.